You know a lot about golf.
Well, we're waiting.
And we thank you for being here. Tidings of comfort and joy are apropos. We are those weekend golf guys, and happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. Whatever it is that you're doing, we are here, and we're ready to celebrate and talk about golf. John Ashton in studio, Jeff Smith from the confines of the Golf Cave at Otter Creek, the plain and simple golf school, as usual.
That's right.
That's right. By contractual obligation, that's where he is. I want to introduce you to one of our special guests in studio today, Cyndy Tandy Anderson, a golf mom.
Oh, I love it.
And that is the topic, the subject. The conversations for the next hour will revolve around golf parents, golf children. Not only will Cyndy be here, who's the mother of a prolific 13-year-old girl who loves the game. Also, we got the Lance Ringler from Golf Week magazine, the college golf guru from Golf Week, and also Mike Thomas, Justin Thomas's dad. We keep telling people we know him, and people go, yeah, sure you do. Well, we're going to prove it to you because he's going to be on with us today. But Cyndy, first off, thanks for joining us here this morning on Those Weekend Golf Guys. How you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Hey, you're quite
This
welcome.
is exciting for me.
You're going to come clean here. I've known Cyndy for more years than I have fingers to count on.
Exactly.
We worked in radio together long ago, far away.
When it was fun.
When it was fun, yeah.
And we were a big family. We had a blast.
We did. In fact, we were putting her on the air. We were just regaling the memories of putting her on the air when we were doing a morning show here in town as she was sitting in the hospital room with the epidural kicking in, waiting for her now 13-year-old daughter to be born. So that gives you some time.
That was a heck of a conversation.
I would love to hear that. I would love to hear it. I don't know. I think it was pretty funny, though. I think I had John and his co-host Kathy at the time. I just knew that they were the only other people up at 4:30 in the morning, so I just called the studio line. I'm like, hey.
She had the hotline number. You always panic in radio when the hotline goes off. You know, oh, God, what did I say?
And I'm like, hey, what's up? They're like, what are you doing? I'm like, waiting on a baby. So Ellie was born into the golf world via John Ashton in the radio show back then.
Man, but she's 13.
She's 13.
How long has she been playing golf?
She is on her fourth set of clubs. I think she had, Barbie set when she was probably 2 or 3, hacking it
The
around.
little plastic stuff?
Well, no. Actually,
really?
it wasn't like the big Tonka toy plastic. It was like a little miniature set. It was cute. Pink bag, little bitty clubs. I mean, probably not even up to my boot size, And just hacking around in the yard and stuff. So she's on her fourth set of clubs. She's taller than me, and she's got one heck of a game. What we saw, her godfather and I would take her out and just hack around, let her drive the cart, make bets with her, pack a picnic. But she's got this brain, and we call it abstract spatial reasoning. And what that is makes you really good at math.
Okay.
Really good at angles. You can play music by ear.
Become a real good pool shark.
Exactly. Because she's got an angular brain.
Okay.
So she was probably 7 or 8. She had her own set of clubs. That was probably her second set, the first real set you can buy that's her size. Literally probably 7 or 8 years old. Right at the end of that, it's either the 7th or 8th hole, maybe there's a long water hazard that goes all the way across in front of the green. And her godfather's like 6'5", so we're out there. And we're in the middle of the fairway. Well, the funny thing was we would always let people play through. Right. But a lot of the guys out there, they walk the course, Yeah. Well, once they saw Ellie smack the ball 75 yards, they were like, no, respect, let her play. Right. Because they wanted to watch her,
Exactly.
And they appreciated that. She loved it. Her godfather smacks the ball, and all you hear is, bloop, right in the water.
Love that sound.
And he's like, oh, yeah. So Ellie sees this, sets it up, no help from me because I'm not the golfer. I have no mathematical geometry brain at all. So she sets it up, hits it just to the left of the water hazard. We walk up, there's the ball. Godfather's shaking his head. Really? So what does she do? Really? Smacks it 35 yards to the green. And then 2 putts it. Yeah. So one of those. Oh, yeah.
And that's when Godfather says, we're not playing together anymore.
Oh, but we always made it fun. Yeah. But then we were like, wait a minute. Okay, she's got something.
Yeah.
And she never understood soccer or baseball. She was probably 3 or 4 when she went to her first, somebody was at soccer practice. She sat there and she was like, I don't understand. And I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, why is everybody running for the same ball? And I said, okay, she's going to be a golfer, tennis. She's going to be in control of the ball. And really, that's what she does. Tennis is the same way.
Okay, so if you have a kid who's a control freak, steer him toward golf. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah?
Jeff, you think that's true? I mean, especially when they've got that
absolutely,
angular thing going.
But the truth is that the people who are control freaks, okay, so if you're raising a child that you sense has to be under control, instantly steer them toward every individual sport.
You got it.
Because they will not get along with teammates. Because they're going to try to be the captain from the second that it starts. They're going to try to control everything that the teammates do. That same child who has who wants to be in charge will also work very diligently at what they do to control their outcome in golf. They'll quickly understand that their outcome was only based upon what they did, and they will quickly gravitate toward success in golf. That personality trait right there is some people will say that's a little selfish, or golf just an individual game, and the truth of it is an individual game. Yeah, there's teams. We got it.
Right.
Yeah,
but
they're
still.
they're carrying the same bag, wearing the same uniform, riding the same bus, going to go play against another school. Got it. It's them and their ball. They're the only ones under control. That suits their personality. If you have a child and they exhibit a lot of skill sets like that they're very good at what they do and they're a little intolerant of what others do when they're playing, they are going to become a golfer.
You got a kid
guarantee
who wants to be a golfer, or you want to be a golfer or whatever, getting them ready for college and all that kind of good stuff. We're going to be talking about that for the entire show right here with those Weekend Golf Guys. Hang out. We'll be right back.
I've owned my company for 14 years now, and I can tell you that payroll is a 4-letter word. I hate doing it. It eats up hours I don't have, and it costs me money I could be saving, but my accountant's too expensive, and I'm not sure who to call. But I know I need help.
We're Paychex, and we take all the hassles out of small business payroll. We save you time and money. It's easy. Call, fax, or give us your payroll information securely online, and we take care of the rest. We calculate the correct taxes, manage payments and direct deposits. We even send out your checks. Payroll doesn't need to be a 4-letter word anymore. We're so sure that we can save you time and money that we'll give you a month's payroll free. Just for calling 877-376-2829. Get 1 month's payroll for free. Call Paychex right now. 877-376-2829. That's 877-376-2829.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Then get on board with the Tax Admiral and let us steer your way to financial freedom.
The IRS is the largest collection agency in the world. They can freeze your bank accounts, seize your car, home, will garnish your paychecks and benefits.
Don't take on the IRS alone. I can fight for you using industry secrets that can help stop the IRS. I'll cut your penalties, slash your interest, and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company with over 30 years experience helping people clean up their mess with the IRS. And we have a 95% customer satisfaction rating.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS, are facing an audit, a lien, or levy, then call me right away.
Call 800-329-2708. Again, that's 800-329-2708. 800-329-2708. 800-329-2708.
Hi, this is Morgan Freeman. Has anyone ever said, you're the picture of health? You look healthy, you feel fine, but that may not be the full picture. Colorectal cancer is the second leading cancer killer of men and women over 50. Since it doesn't always cause symptoms, you may not know you have it. The only way to know is by getting screened. Screening can find precancerous polyps, so they can be removed before they turn into cancer. This is one cancer you can prevent. Plus, screening can find colorectal cancer at an early stage when the chance for a full recovery is very high. Talk with your doctor and get tested for colorectal cancer. Medicare and many insurance plans help pay for screening. Get screened. Make sure you are the picture of health.
A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
And welcome back. We are those weekend golf guys. John Ashton in studio. Jeff Smith at the Golf Cave at Otter Creek, Plain and Simple Golf School. Cyndy, the golf mom, in studio with us right
Hopefully
here.
to be Ellie Anderson's mom.
That's right.
Like Justin's dad.
That's it. Justin Thomas's dad coming up a little later on in the show. And, Lance Ringler, the college golf guru from Golf Week magazine, going to be joining us in a few moments here, too. But Jeff Smith, who not only has great experience in creating successful collegiate golfers, but in parenting a couple successful collegiate and high school golfers, is going to take off his golf teacher hat and let's just be the counselor now.
Mm-hmm. I need it.
Yeah, because
we need it.
As a dad, I've gone through, how do I get my kid through high school golf when they say, not me, that their goal is to play as well as they can play and then go make it into college golf?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the important part is if the kid wants it, because it doesn't matter if the parent wants it. Parents that want it, either A, just as bad as the kid, or B, more than the kid, is the parent that's dangerous to the child's future.
Yeah.
Stage moms.
Yeah.
They will make it where instantly the kid gets done off the golf course, the bags go in the trunk, and the next thing you know, you got mom or dad climbing down the kid's throat as if they're a highly paid professional athlete, and they've just screwed up.
How could you miss that chip on number 3?
No,
instead of their teenage child that's just gone through emotional trauma.
Yeah.
And the parents need to, as a counselor, as a father, who's seen a lot of this up close and personal, especially for girls golf, because I've got 2 daughters, one that's now playing Division I college golf in Chicago, and the other who's being recruited by 4 schools to go do the same thing. Golf is an emotional game.
Yeah.
And so for every parent that's out there, they need to realize that the parents need to step back and be parents and be supporters of their kid all the time. They need to not try to coach them or tell them what to do, because that kid's got enough instructions going on in their own mind from themselves.
So it's a good thing I know nothing.
It's a very good thing that you know nothing.
I got nothing. I mean, I'm like, I can't help her.
Very good thing.
She'll
So
laugh
don't
at me
try.
when I swing.
And keep her
Right,
dad
so-
away from her.
Well,
But-
her
but-
dad's pretty tough on her. Her dad is doing okay. We love you, Dad. Sorry. However, he played collegiate tennis for U of L, so he's got that thing, you know, and in anything he does. When he's out with Ellie, it does get a little. I think she gets a little like, I'm never playing golf again.
Yeah.
Which she's never said until he was a little hard on her or trying to help her. He wants to listen to your dad at 13 years old.
Right.
Parents need to be completely supportive.
Yeah.
And they don't need to be hard on the kids, because that kid will run away. They will run and hide from that thing
It almost
that
happened.
they used to like
Yeah.
or love.
Yeah.
It literally
Because of the too
almost
much
happened.
feedback.
And I was scared
Yeah.
to death. But then she, on her own, got out of school one day and said, this is what I want to do. It was golf. It was law school. It was,
Well, you
know,
have a
she's got
teacher
this
for
plan.
her. She's not learning from her dad, right? You
No,
got her lessons, right?
no. Yeah, she was taking. Oh my gosh, years ago. She probably 2 or 3 years. She was with Greg Graham. You know, once a week or whatever. But most of it, she was out learning how to do it on her, like what she saw what to do on her own.
Because Jeff has counseled many a parent / boyfriend / girlfriend.
Yeah.
You don't teach people that you really want to have a relationship with outside of golf how to play golf.
No, you know, as a dad, he's just
Especially
trying
if
to
you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
As a dad, he's trying to be supportive.
Right.
He's a good golfer. He's kind of good at whatever he does.
I
You know,
know.
he's
I
one
played
of those.
golf with him. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But Ellie played 2 years ago in a scramble. It was me and another adult and Ellie, and it was best ball out of 9. Guess how many best balls she had? 6, and loved it and did well,
Right.
and loved that she did well. I mean, she played Barnsley Gardens, she played Beau Rivage, you know, so she's not afraid to hit some big crazy course.
Yeah.
I mean, Barnsley Gardens is killer,
Now, Jeff, you would also counsel that
but she had fun.
that's the important thing.
She had fun.
Like
I got snacks in the cart.
Yeah.
Whatever.
fun
you
is
know.
the important element in all of this, man. Even when, I mean, we don't even play the game unless it's fun.
Yeah, she came up when she came home from school. I mean, this was not even a month ago. I want to do this, and I'm going to play golf.
Yeah.
And she plays tennis too, but I'm going to play golf and I want to do this and I want to do that. She comes up with it. So thankfully, listening to you guys, I'm on the right track. But
turn her on and let her go. Now, Jeff, you would say that the high school golf and the conversations we've had with Lance Ringler, I think he's going to reiterate this again too. But playing high school golf is not as important as playing in tournament golf, junior tournaments.
Not at all. Not at all. As a matter of fact, there are some college players that did not play on their high school team because it was not important. Because the college coaches don't care about the high school golf season.
Right.
So if the player is a very good player and the parents think that it's in the student's best interest, the kid's best interest, to just keep playing them in outside tournaments because the coaches care about 36 and 54-hole events. They sure don't care about a 9-hole match down at the local Muni. They don't care about those.
Would you put her on a golf team in high school then?
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, you put her on
because she needs – everybody needs day-to-day competition, day-to-day practice.
Right.
But I don't think I would put my son or daughter on the one that they could not play on, meaning that they wouldn't get any playing time.
Yeah.
Okay.
If there isn't any playing time, then there's about 2.5 months worth of the season that you're frustrated because you're not allowed to go and play in any outside events because all the high school associations don't let you do that. If you didn't make the top 5 in your team to go play in that invitational this weekend against 5 other high schools, you don't get to just go off and play in some outside tournament someplace like you think you can.
So what do you do when you have a child who you think would be a good golfer and maybe that would be their ticket to college? Well, just hang out. We've got Lance Ringler from Golf Week, the college golf guy from Golf Week magazine. We've got Justin Thomas's father, Mike Thomas, going to talk about what he's been through and a whole lot more. It's coming up when those weekend golf guys come back. Don't you move.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Then get on board with the Tax Admiral and let us steer your way to financial freedom.
The IRS is the largest collection agency in the world. They can freeze your bank accounts, seize your car, home, will garnish your paychecks and benefits.
Don't take on the IRS alone. I can fight for you using industry secrets that can help stop the IRS. I'll cut your penalties, slash your interest, and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company with over 30 years experience helping people clean up their mess with the IRS. And we have a 95% customer satisfaction rating.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS, are facing an audit, a lien, or levy, then call me right away.
Call 800-329-2708. Again, that's 800-329-2708. 800-329-2708. 800-329-2708.
I've owned my company for 14 years now, and I can tell you that payroll is a 4-letter word. I hate doing it. It eats up hours I don't have, and it costs me money I could be saving. But my accountant's too expensive, and I'm not sure who to call. But I know I need help.
We're Paychex, and we take all the hassles out of small business payroll. We save you time and money. It's easy. Call, fax, or give us your payroll information securely online, and we take care of the rest. We calculate the correct taxes, manage payments and direct deposits. We even send out your checks. Payroll doesn't need to be a 4-letter word anymore. We're so sure that we can save you time and money that we'll give you a month's payroll free just for calling 877-376-2829. Get 1 month's payroll for free. Call Paychex right now. 877-376-2829. That's 877-376-2829.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 $3 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-554-4183 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 800-554-4183 to take your call now. Call 800-554-4183. That's 800-554-4183. Again, 800-554-4183.
And welcome back. We are those weekend golf guys. John Ashton here in studio, and we've been talking with golf parents hither and yon all about trials and tribulations of getting a kid ready to go to college. And we want to jump on now with Lance Ringler from Golf Week magazine, the college golf guru. And Lance, first off, thanks for taking some time and joining us here on those weekend golf guys. How you doing, sir?
Good, no problem. Thanks for having me. I really look forward to chatting with you guys more often.
Yes, indeed. Like to make this a regular thing because, we tell the world we only talk about 3 pros. Other than that, we don't care about the PGA. One of them, of course, is Thorbjorn Olesen, just because his name is fun to say. And then, and then we've got a guy on the web.com tour, Tyler Duncan, who is a student of my co-host Jeff Smith, and Justin Thomas, because he's a local kid, and we know his dad, who will be on following your segment right here.
There you go.
But we now are in Philadelphia on the air, Yahoo Sports Radio up there, and we wanted to first touch base on the LaSalle thing. Just saw on your Facebook college golf page that LaSalle is going to be adding
they're going to be adding a women's team.
Women's team,
so,
right.
Yeah,
right.
Correct. They've already had a men's team. They're adding a women's team. And it's just kind of we've seen a little bit of that over time with athletic departments. Obviously there's so many cuts that take place, and a lot of your bigger sports that carry higher numbers end up falling victim to certain circumstances. But, golf teams are pretty much the cheapest sport on campus. They're the lowest numbers, cheapest sport. So if you're looking to do something with your numbers or whatever, golf teams usually find a way to either be saved or be added. And in this case, LaSalle is adding a women's golf program that's going to start competition next fall.
Do you get any sense that they're going to be recruiting locally primarily to begin with, or have any idea?
Yes. No, I mean, they haven't hired a coach yet. I know they're in the process of that, but normally those level of programs, they'll tend to grab up as many local kids as they can. It all depends on what their operating budget is and what they have from a scholarship allotment standpoint. But I would expect it to definitely increase some opportunity for some players within the Pennsylvania area, being, in Pennsylvania. Sure. I would expect to see, a roster made up of at least half, if not all, the kids from that area.
That's cool. A couple of years ago, we were astounded to find out that there were like 900 scholarships for girls that went unclaimed.
That's a little bit of a myth.
Okay.
Yeah, that gets said a lot. And I could tell you, I actually did a poll about, wasn't too long ago. I took a little survey of all the Division I coaches, and there wasn't a single Division I coach that had scholarship money that went unused.
Okay. Cool.
So they don't, I think that might fall into the category, maybe down at your very low levels of your D2s. Your D3s aren't allowed to give scholarships. Your Division IIs may have some players. Maybe if you're counting junior college, that's a little bit of a myth. I think that pretty much think about it like this, guys. If you're a college coach and you have a full scholarship or 2 scholarships, are you just going to sit on it?
Yeah.
You're going to give it to somebody because you want a player and you want to get better. So I hear that a lot. I hear that a lot from people, and I say, well, not so fast. I'm not really sure how that got started. But that's a little bit of a myth.
You'd go out and find some girl who could play golf or be willing to learn,
Even if she only breaks 90, that's better than nobody, right?
That's exactly right. You can compete if you can field a team.
Exactly.
What kind of advice would you give to parents who are dealing with a very, let's say, talented 13, 14-year-old about preparing now to get in line for that college scholarship for golf?
Well, I mean, the best advice is you just have to get out and you have to play in tournaments that are going to help you test your game, help you get better on the scale that you need to get better. That's the first advice. So many kids play, not so many, but there's a lot of people that play in pretty much what would be considered a local or state level event, and they dominate and they do well and they win. And it builds a false perception on how good that kid may be.
Right.
So if you really desire to play at the highest level or to play at the Division I collegiate level, you need to put yourself in a situation where that is going to come out. And a lot of people don't do that. They play just, a local junior mini tour or a local junior tour or just in state. High school golf's kind of the worst barometer. You have a lot of people that do very well in high school golf. You got to remember, probably 80 to 90% of your kids playing high school golf, they don't even play in the non-high school golf season.
Right.
So,
right.
So, you have to test, you have to put yourself in those positions. And, you just got to kind of, you got to kind of market yourself. And then once you're in the position where you think you're good enough, you got to start marketing yourself. And the one thing I always tell people when I am speaking, banquets and whatnot is don't just start at the top. Don't just start at like a Georgia or a Texas or UCLA. Don't start there. Start at the bottom and work your way up. So start contacting coaches of teams ranked in the 250 range, in the 200 range,
right,
and keep working your way up and see where the interest stops. I tell kids all the time, if you're an average player in the state of Texas and having moderate success, there's probably not a single school in New England that won't take you. But yet you don't see a lot of kids from Texas going to New England to play golf. No. All the kids from New England want to go to Texas to play golf.
Exactly.
Well, I remember I told a kid that I spoke at the Texas Junior Golf Banquet maybe 7-8 years ago. And it was funny, just about a year or two ago, I got an email from a parent that said, "Hey Lance, we heard your speak at the banquet and we took your advice, and my kid ended up going, he went to like a Binghamton in New York or maybe a UConn. I can't remember exactly where he went, but he ended up going there and having a good college career and playing, maybe Sacred Heart or somewhere. But yeah, I mean, so the thing is parents have to market themselves. They have to, but the biggest thing, you guys, you have to be realistic about your ability. So many people just can't come to terms that, how good or not good their kid actually is. And that's the toughest part for a parent. You just have to be realistic about how good your kid is.
What are the good national junior tours that you might recommend?
Well, obviously everyone wants to play the AJGA.
Right.
That's the pinnacle. That's where all the best players are playing. But there's so many good, you have the FCWT, the IJGT, heck, Golf Week. We even have events now. There's a Golf Week Junior Tour. There's so many good tours. You just pretty much have to, do a little bit of research. The best advice you can get is talk to kids from your area that are playing college golf. Talk to their parents, see what they did, and see where they played.
Yeah.
See where they played. So there's plenty of places to play that are considered regional or national level competition. You just got to do a little bit of research and find out what fits your schedule and your budget best.
Yeah, in fact, our co-host Jeff Smith, his daughter, really good high school, really good on the junior. She did the AJGA tour and is now at Loyola playing golf. So it works
exactly.
out. It works out.
Yes, it does. It does. Here's what I always tell people.
Yeah.
Here's what I always tell people. If you're any good, you're not going to get missed. And that's
exactly.
And you know what, guys? That's not just golf. That's every sport.
Yeah.
If you're good, you're not going to get missed.
Lance, we appreciate. No, you're pressed for time, man. I'm going to let you run here, but first, little shameless self promotion. What's your Facebook page for people to follow the college golf world, and how can they read you, etc.?
Yeah, it's just on Facebook, Lance Ringler's College Golf page, and then on Twitter at Golf Week Ringler.
Fantastic, Lance Ringler, Golf Week Ringler.
All right, guys.
Love that. Thanks for your time, my man, and we'll do this on a regular basis. Okay, appreciate it.
All right, no problem. Call me anytime. Have a good day.
Thanks, Lance. You too, man. Bye bye.
See you guys.
All right, that's Lance Ringler, of course, Golf Week magazine, and we're going to be talking with Justin Thomas's dad, who is probably the epitome of the golf dad now. I mean, he's gone from junior golfer through high school, through collegiate, through PGA Pro. He's coming up next when we come back with those weekend golf guys. Don't you move.
I've owned my company for 14 years now, and I can tell you that payroll is a 4-letter word. I hate doing it. It eats up hours I don't have, and it costs me money I could be saving. But my accountant's too expensive, and I'm not sure who to call. But I know I need help.
We're Paychex, and we take all the hassles out of small business payroll. We save you time and money. It's easy. Call, fax, or give us your payroll information securely online, and we take care of the rest. We calculate the correct taxes, manage payments and direct deposits. We even send out your checks. Payroll doesn't need to be a four-letter word anymore. We're so sure that we can save you time and money that we'll give you a month's payroll free just for calling 877-376-2829. Get 1 month's payroll for free. Call Paychex right now. 877-376-2829. That's 877-376-2829.
Jeff, you've seen me miss.
Yeah.
Good news is I didn't 3-putt but one green my last round, but I'm still missing by an inch or two left or right. Man, I need some help. What do you got? Teach me, buddy.
I'll tell you what. The first thing that I do with all my clinics when we're working on putting, I break out the putting stroke teacher every single time. We put this thing on. Their forearms are lined up. Their putter face is lined up in the same place. It's the straightest putt you'll ever hit. It's unbelievable. And then I'll teach you how to aim after that. But you go get it. The putting stroke teacher, tpsteacher.com. Go get one. Cheap and effective.
I like
Gotta
that.
love it.
Cheap and effective.
You're not kidding. This thing is absolutely one of the best things I've ever seen.
And it's easy to understand?
Absolutely. Strap it onto your putter and go.
Don't need
Real
you
simple.
standing over me to tell me how to use it.
No, you don't want me barking at you anyway.
Open up the box.
tpsteacher.com.
Make it work. tpsteacher.com.
If you're diabetic, this message could change your life. Is your blood sugar out of control even when you do all the right stuff? Are you afraid of diabetic blindness and the risk of amputation, as well as all those other side effects? Well, you should be. Is there anything that could help manage your blood sugar? Nobetes is a natural supplement that may quickly and dramatically lower your blood sugar.
My name is Bob Corder. I've been using Nobetes for about 3.5 to 4 months now. And in the first 3 months, I've actually lowered my blood sugars from 500s down to 139, and then it dropped to 88 to 93.
My name is Kirsten. I'm a type 1 diabetic, and while taking Nobetes, my blood sugar levels dropped from 295 to 115 in just 1 day.
The FDA hasn't evaluated these statements, and Nobetes isn't intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. But for many, it's helped drop their blood sugar. So if you've been evaluated with high blood sugar, don't delay. Evaluate Nobetes now. Call 800-553-0803 and get your free bottle. Just cover shipping and handling. Call 800-553-0803. That's 800-553-0803.
Hey, thanks for hanging. Welcome back. We are those Weekend Golf Guys. John Ashton in studio. Jeff Smith at the Golf Cave at Otter Creek. Cyndy Pandy Anderson, Golf Mom, in studio with us here. And on the line, we keep saying we know this dude, and people go, yeah, right, sure you do. Our buddy, Mike Thomas, head professional at Harmony Landing Country Club in Louisville, Kentucky. That's how we know him. The rest of the world is beginning to know him as Justin Thomas's dad. Are you getting acclimated to that, Mike?
Yeah, there's worse things to be known for than that.
That's right.
The best part about that moniker, Mike, is that that'll cover up some of the things that you might want covered up because it's just now you're Justin's dad.
Hey, I want in on that program. One day I want to be Ellie Anderson's mom.
Yeah, you can do that.
No doubt.
It can happen.
That'll work.
And one of the things we want to just get with you, Mike. First off, thanks for making some time for us here. You know that your social life is now even busier than your professional life. So thanks for carving some time out for us.
Glad to do it.
And our congratulations. Please pass it on to Justin. Man, he's making us all proud.
Oh man, I'm telling you what.
Oh, thank you. We're very fortunate for sure.
When he was a young whippersnapper, did you put a golf club in his hand to begin with, or did he say, "Hey, Dad, let me try that"?
He was begging for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I never pushed him at any point, and I still don't. I mean, it has to come from within, and his love and desire was always there, and I always say we spent more time trying to pull him back away from it. Be a kid than pushing him to go practice. We never had to do that.
When he was, let's say, 13, let's give some advice to Cyndy here. At what point did you actually start thinking, hey, this is a serious deal, and this is probably going to get him to college? So what steps did you take to try to make sure that happened?
John, I never looked at it that way. I mean, everyone I've ever talked to has always been sort of shocked. I never looked at it that way. I mean, I knew he had a lot of talent. I teach for a living, and I've seen a lot of great players. And, I mean, I knew he was a special talent, but my focus the whole time was, for him to learn about life, learn about being a person. And, the game was teaching him a lot of things outside of golf. Like any parent, I wanted him to be happy and be safe. I mean, I said at age 12 or 13, if he wanted to walk away, then, tell me what you want to do and let's go do it. I mean, I didn't want to golf to identify him as the person that he is. I mean, and still don't.
It's kind of obnoxious being
for a lot of parents,
being the backstage mom or dad, or trying to live your career vicariously through your children.
I've seen it. I've seen it done poorly many times.
Yeah.
Well, and usually doesn't. I mean, I worked out in L.A. and as a publicist, and I saw a lot of stage moms who would derail these kids super quick.
Yeah.
And they would run.
Yeah.
And see, I've never pushed Ellie. Yeah. We always just made it fun, pack a picnic. But when she's got that kind of talent and she knows it, and she's not interested in softball, I mean, thank God, or soccer, or field hockey, or these, others. That's not her thing.
Yeah.
And she's got this angular brain, and she has a heck of a swing. I mean, they're out at practice. I think they were at Oxmoor, and her dad was walking around, and right in front of the coach. I mean, I love this. He goes, Ellie, all right, quit messing around. I'll give you $100 if you can smack it on the green, right? And the coach looks at her dad and goes, oh, my God. And he's kind of the coach, rolls his eyes. He goes, really, Jeff? Okay. Are you sure about that? And he goes, oh, I think my odds are pretty good. I'll be fine. What do you think she does? Smacks it 160 yards
onto the green,
and then he's trying to get his money back, and he's trying to bet her $10 a stroke to three putt it, and she two putts it. He calls me, he goes, I'm going to the ATM. I said,
Well, there are some kids that are money motivated, and
and
some that just want to make their dad look bad.
That's
it was
part
hysterical.
Of that too, is they just rose to the challenge. I'm going to do this because you don't think I can.
That's right. Dad doesn't think I can. I'm going to show him.
But it was also her personal, and I don't push her. What I do tell her is, if God gave you a talent, explore it.
Yeah.
And if that's what you're interested in, do it. I don't ever want to be that you're going to do this.
That's really good advice for sure. That's good advice.
Oh, by the way, Mike, I played golf on Sunday with a guy who went to school with your son.
He stays in touch with a lot of his friends from both North Oldham and St. X, where he went to high school, and he stays in touch with a lot of them.
He is a down-to-earth kid.
I mean, that's the kind of stuff that we worked on more than, his golf swing. Is, regardless of what you do in life, the kind of person you are is what's going to take you where you go. And we're very fortunate. I mean, you try, like any parent, to do what you can, but, it's up to them to decide what the right thing to do is. And thus far, we've been very fortunate.
What was the recruiting process like?
Well, it was a little different for us. I have a lot of my students' parents ask me that question and ask me for advice. And, I'm probably a poor one to ask for advice because by the time he was a junior in high school, he had won a number of national tournaments, had played in a couple different countries. So it was more us trying to decide where he wanted to go. I mean, he could go wherever he wanted to go. And, it's the same as any kind of recruitment, whether it's for a job or anything else. They all promise a lot of stuff. And, fortunately, we were in a position that instead of choosing which school wanted us, we got to choose what school we wanted. And, he had it down to about 5 or 6 schools. And, fortunately, we knew a lot of people in the industry being in the golf business, that helped me with the right questions to ask and the right things to inquire about. And just when we went to Alabama, just something about that, that kind of came on. It wasn't early on. They weren't that great, really, early on. He knew a couple kids that was going to school that he played junior golf with, and it just kind of surprised us that he picked that. But, all along we were like, hey, if that's what you want to do, let's go.
Well, you know what I've always said, even about, we're looking at high schools for Ellie, and I've always said she could go anywhere she wants.
Right.
It's what school fits the kid.
Right.
She has chosen Pepperdine, I think, as her goal, which you know how that goes.
Yeah.
But also because it's small and it's very Christian based. So Lourdes is very small and square school. UCLA, she might get lost and she might not like it. She likes structure. Definitely. She likes small. She might love Bama, but she also might like Vandy better. Who knows?
Exactly.
And so,
And it's
but
a lot.
But I like
it's
that
atmosphere when you go to a college because
There's something clicks.
Same thing. I'm a big city kid, and I went to a couple of the visitations to a couple of small schools, and it was like, no, thank you. And then went to a couple of large urban universities and was like, yes, this is where I feel comfortable.
So I think it's what's best for the kid, and
that's it.
And just like I said, Ellie came home one day and said, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I'm going to do this, and I'm like,
okay,
rock on, sister,
let's go.
So I don't push her in her talent. I just want her to explore it, and if she loves it, and I'll support her and do whatever. I guess I'll just keep driving and keep paying.
It's your job, lady. Hey, Mike, was there ever a point, this may be an improper question, I apologize if it offends anybody, but was there a point when you said, my son needs more instruction than I can give him?
No. I teach all of my students to learn their own game.
Okay.
I mean, I tell all my students, if I have a new student that starts tomorrow, by the second time I get them, I said, your goal is not to need me. I mean, if I'm doing my job and you're listening, what we need to do is get you to understand your golf swing, not the golf swing, but your golf swing, and what goes wrong in your golf swing. And Justin has always been really good at fixing himself. He's blessed with a talent that is pretty low maintenance. He'll send me videos from the road. We do have a guy out on tour that we both trust, who's out there pretty regularly, that he'll bounce things off of him, or that guy will call me and say, here's what I see, and we'll look at videos or something on our phones. And but I guess that might be a question for Justin. I do remember when he was young, he came home and asked, I think he was at a U.S. Kids tournament or something, a national tournament, and said, he saw the kids, mostly foreign kids, some of them different nationalities, that had a coach and had a whole team around them, and that kind of impressed him. And he came home and told me he wanted to get a coach too. And I said, that's kind of what I do.
I'll be over here.
Leave here and go with you.
I think that'd be a question for him. I don't. I have never felt that way. I don't know whether he has or not.
Well, I think clearly you've done okay. We're doing okay over there.
Well,
I think you're fine.
You and Jeff Smith, who have known each other for a while too, you met each other and are in the same business. Also had the same situation. Jeff has a couple very successful children who are right now in the collegiate ranks, or soon to be. So when we come back, if you can hang with us just a few more minutes, going to let Jeff and you talk about the advice that you might have in teaching your kids. Talk about, having kids that are going to the collegiate ranks and what you can expect. When we come right back, we are those weekend golf guys. Don't you move. Every other week, we send you great tidbits, including a weekend tune-up from Jeff Smith, a quick video that'll get you doing something absolutely right on the golf course. Every other week, we send it to you if you ask us to. Just go to thoseweekendgolfguys.com/newsletter and sign up, and you'll lose some strokes in just a matter of a few issues. thoseweekendgolfguys.com/newsletter. Go and subscribe right now. Absolutely free.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Then get on board with the Tax Admiral and let us steer your way to financial freedom.
The IRS is the largest collection agency in the world. They can freeze your bank accounts, seize your car, home, will garnish your paychecks and benefits.
Don't take on the IRS alone. I can fight for you using industry secrets that can help stop the IRS. I'll cut your penalties, slash your interest, and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company with over 30 years experience helping people clean up their mess with the IRS. And we have a 95% customer satisfaction rating.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS, are facing an audit, a lien, or levy, then call me right away.
Call 800-329-2708. Again, that's 800-329-2708. 800-329-2708. 800-329-2708.
If you're diabetic, this message could change your life. Is your blood sugar out of control even when you do all the right stuff? Are you afraid of diabetic blindness and the risk of amputation, as well as all those other side effects? Well, you should be. Is there anything that could help manage your blood sugar? Nobetes is a natural supplement that may quickly and dramatically lower your blood sugar.
My name is Bob Corder. I've been using Nobetes for about 3.5 to 4 months now, and in the first 3 months, I've actually lowered my blood sugars from 500s down to 139, and then it dropped to 88 to 93.
My name is Kirsten. I'm a type 1 diabetic, and while taking Nobetes, my blood sugar levels dropped from 295 to 115 in just one day.
The FDA hasn't evaluated these statements, and Nobetes isn't intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. But for many, it's helped drop their blood sugar. So if you've been evaluated with high blood sugar, don't delay. Evaluate Nobetes now. Call 800-553-0803 and get your free bottle. Just cover shipping and handling. Call 800-553-0803. That's 800-553-0803.
And we're back. Thanks for hanging with us, those weekend golf guys. John Ashton in studio, Jeff Smith at the Golf Cave at Otter Creek. Cyndy, golf mom, in studio with us here, and Mike Thomas, head professional at Harmony Landing Country Club in Louisville, Kentucky, on the line. Name sounds familiar. He is the father, the teacher, the progenitor, I guess, of Justin Thomas, PGA. Now it's say PGA champion. Because
that's so awesome.
He got his first number one under his belt. Now, does that qualify him for the Masters?
It does, yeah.
Oh my God, I just got to chill. Yay.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Oh my God, that is awesome.
So
it opened up a lot of doors.
Dad gets to go to Augusta this year, huh?
Baby.
I've been there many times, and I haven't been for a long time, and I'm going this coming year for sure.
I don't blame you. You know, if you got room in your suitcase, you can take us too, man.
You're going to be standing on the practice range. You're going to be standing on the whole practice area, walking around there. You know he's going to get you that pass. You're going to make him. If my kid ever got there, I'd be like, you darn straight.
No, you know what you say. You say, hey, Justin, remember that time you called me and you wanted an entourage? Okay, well, here I am.
That's right. We now have an entourage, hangers on, etc.
Well, I already lost the caddy job in the par 3 tournament. Mom claimed that right away.
Oh, man.
That's all right.
Listen, Mike, both you and Jeff are golf instructors, teachers, excellent reputations and lots of successful students under your belts. What would your advice be to the lovely Cyndy and all people in her position who have children that show a good amount of talent and a great amount of enthusiasm, which is an important combination? First, we'll let Mike go, and then, Jeff, you jump in. I'm going to turn it over to you guys. What kind of advice you give, man?
Well, I would say, first and foremost, the thing that I've always stressed, and believe it or not, I still stress that when I'm out on tour with Justin, is if this isn't fun, let's go do something else. I mean, you have to enjoy what you're doing, whether you're a banker or a lawyer or a golf professional or a tour player. I mean, there's nothing better than getting up in the morning and looking forward to go do, what you're doing. So you have to keep it fun. I mean, obviously there's ups and downs, but you got to enjoy and learn from everything. And, depending on the level that somebody's playing at, when you start playing on a collegiate level, if you're playing Division I, however good you are, you need to be better because it's incredible. I'm just shocked by the talent level that is out there. And, I see a lot of really good players in the city or in the state, they're kind of content with where they're at there, or they're not working the correct way. And you start playing nationwide against Division I players, they're very good. So keep sharpening those skills up for sure.
I got a couple things to add with that. As I look at the high school kids, I have a really good sense of how much the kid wants it versus how much the parents want it. Not only is it based upon how much I see the parents, and do they hang on, do they stand back and watch, do they come up and start talking to the kid right after our session, it's do I see it in the kid's eyes? Do I sense the enthusiasm out of the kid? And the truth is that there's not a parent alive that can put a kid in a positive frame of mind if they don't already want to be there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And if that kid is out there because they want to be there and they're grinding away because they like to do it and because they want to get to be a great player, that's a personal thing. And there's not a parent out there that can force that upon them. And there's lots of them that try.
I agree with that. No, I agree with that for sure.
What do you do if you have, like me, I've got a 13-year-old, we're looking at high schools, okay, fine, we'll figure that out. Some of the better golf programs, but I've also got to have some academics because she wants to go to law school, so I got a whole big space to fill. But what do you do if you have a kid like Ellie who is so competitive with herself? She can hang with the best of them, and she did at the CSAA tournament. And for the sixth graders last year, played with the number one girl in that. But she was head to head with this girl. But then Ellie got in her head on a bad shot, and then that was it. Because the competitiveness within herself wasn't. She didn't care what I thought, anybody thought, whatever. But she was mad at herself for not doing better. But it was all her. Yeah. And she wanted it.
I'll tell you two comments about that. And the first and foremost is, somebody is good, and I dealt with this with Justin. Somebody is good because they have that competitive fire. The running joke that I used to say is when Justin was 6 and we would play cards, he'd throw the cards at me. And I'm like, I'm going to beat you every single time. I'm 7 moves ahead of you.
That's Ellie.
But because of that, his outward demeanor in some situations wasn't great. The rule of thumb is it's a lot easier to learn how to manage that fire than figure out how to put that fire in them. So that's the first comment I would, if they got that fire, just managing it, that's a good problem to have and trying to figure out how to get it. And
she's a stone cold. One day she sank some putt and her dad called me and goes, that was like a U.S. Open winning shot. And all she did was go, yes, and walk off. If she makes a bad shot, it's the same thing. Yeah. She's very collected.
Well, that's good. That's a great quality. The second thing that I would say that I thought a lot of people forgot, and I learned probably better in hindsight, is, your daughter's 13. I mean, she's not 28. She's 13. She's not developed mentally. She's not developed emotionally. Where she's better than she was when she was 11. She's not as good as she's going to be when she's 15, and when she's 15, she's not going to be as good as when she's 19. They don't look at things the way an adult looks at things. Right. So the problem with young prodigies like that is you look at them like they're adult because their game is as good as an adult. But the bottom line is, emotionally and physically, emotionally probably more so, they're a child, and they need to be expected to act like a child. That's what they should do. That's how they're wired to act. Yeah. And part of that managing that fire is, at 13 years old, they're not wired to be able to handle that. Right. And Justin's better at handling it now than he used to be, but he still needs to improve that. And, part of that is he's 22. He's not 25. He's 22.
Right. And the mental aspect of this game is a big problem for even us amateurs. People who have been playing it forever. You do, people talk all the time, and we have a regular guest on here, Dr. Gary Sales, and his whole thing is, sports psychology, how to keep it looking good, get in your head,
get out of your head when you make a bad shot.
Yeah,
right.
So I mean,
there's a couple things that I can offer up as advice. She's asked a good question of, I don't even know what high school to put her in. Are you thinking right now that the golf program within the school is going to be a determining factor if, in fact, you're down to a couple of schools academically and they're equal there?
At first, I thought it would be easy to go to, say, the number one Catholic, quote-unquote, girls' Catholic high school. Okay, we got a great golf program. They tout that they've got the best academic program. The problem is they don't. Not for Ellie. Because there's another school, I don't know how their golf program is. I know their volleyball is killer. Yeah. But the academics at the other school, which is maybe, let's say, the number 2 if you were to, I don't know what they're really ranked, but the most popular whatever things, okay?
But then again, if she's a great golfer, she can make it a good golf
that's
program.
What I'm saying.
I got a couple things about all that.
I can't send her to a school just because they have a good golf program because she wants to go into business law. She wants to do film school. I can't send her somewhere that ignores all the rest of her academic endeavors and what she wants to do. So,
all right, Jeff, what you got?
Yep.
All right. My initial thoughts are this. You cannot have a 2-month to 2.5-month golf program within the school dictate what school you go to because that 8 months to 9 months of year that your child is in school is the important thing because learning golf happens on the golf course in that environment, and you can't trust This is not to disparage any high school programs of any
right.
anywhere across
Me either.
the country.
Me either. And I'm not saying
you can't let the high school program and the coaching that goes on there be a determining factor. You need to take them to a qualified teacher wherever you are and let that be the thing that helps determine their golf game, because the competition for golf is year-round if you travel. But you can't let your choice of a golf season affect your decision as being one of the factors of where your child goes to school. You mentioned all those other things that you want for your child because it's part of who she is. Those are the real factors of why you choose a school.
That's what I told her.
What Lance Ringler said earlier in the program is that playing high school golf is not going to get you noticed for college. It's playing on the national junior tours that's going to get you
and
noticed.
that's what you guys told me just a little while ago.
Yeah,
that's same thing.
Listen, we're going to have to run, man. We're running out of time here, but Cyndy, we appreciate you.
Sorry, I know.
That's
I probably
okay.
talked over everybody.
Well, that's all right.
But thank you all very much.
We knew it was going to happen when we invited you in. Mike,
good luck to you.
Hey, thank you. I hope to meet you guys soon, and best of luck to everybody. And God, congratulations. That's an awesome story. I'll be Ellie will be on the Google later. So you may see us out at Harmony.
Mike, again, thank you very much for taking some time for us here and for the great information.
Everybody.
And Merry Christmas to you and yours too.
Yes.
And we'll be watching with great enthusiasm every golf tournament that's on TV this year, because go Justin. Check us out, thoseweekendgolfguys.com. You can follow us on Twitter at WKND Golf Guys. You can also like our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/golfguys. We'll be back here next week at this very same time, at this very same place, in case you're saying, hey, where do I find these guys again? This is where it is. Go play some golf if you can. Have a great Christmas. We'll talk to you next week. Goodbye.
I've owned my company for 14 years now, and I can tell you that payroll is a 4-letter word. I hate doing it. It eats up hours I don't have, and it costs me money I could be saving. But my accountant's too expensive, and I'm not sure who to call. But I know I need help.
We're Paychex, and we take all the hassles out of small business payroll. We save you time and money. It's easy. Call, fax, or give us your payroll information securely online, and we take care of the rest. We calculate the correct taxes, manage payments and direct deposits. We even send out your checks. Payroll doesn't need to be a 4-letter word anymore. We're so sure that we can save you time and money that we'll give you a month's payroll free, just for calling 877-376-2829. Get 1 month's payroll for free. Call Paychex right now. 877-376-2829. That's 877-376-2829.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Then get on board with the Tax Admiral and let us steer your way to financial freedom.
The IRS is the largest collection agency in the world. They can freeze your bank accounts, seize your car, home, will garnish your paychecks and benefits.
Don't take on the IRS alone. I can fight for you using industry secrets that can help stop the IRS. I'll cut your penalties, slash your interest, and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company with over 30 years experience helping people clean up their mess with the IRS. And we have a 95% customer satisfaction rating.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS, are facing an audit, a lien, or levy, then call me right away.
Call 800-329-2708. Again, that's 800-329-2708. 800-329-2708. 800-329-2708.